Morning friends. Today I'm trying to do a quick video while my kids are in the background. We are going to talk about some things that I've noticed highly feminine women who have their femininity very developed and exuding femininity really don't do. Some things that they don't do. I know a lot of times when I come on these videos, I talk to you from a place of like authority. And although I feel as though I've done a lot of work when it comes to my femininity, I am a much, in my opinion, more developed feminine woman at the age of 30 than I was at the age of 20. I want you to keep in mind that this is still a journey for me, and a way that I develop my own femininity is by observing other highly feminine women, looking at the characteristics that they have, and of course not emulating but drawing inspiration for that and trying to see how it can apply to my life to really a more fulfilled life. If you are new to this channel, you might not be familiar with the fact that I have honestly deconstructed the modern society and the feminine woman. I encourage you to watch my other videos where I talk about how society does try to beat the femininity out of you, and we've lost track and kind of deduced women to small versions of men rather than celebrating the uniqueness of what makes us women: motherhood, nurturing, creativity, that feminine joie de vivre, liveliness. The list goes on and on. I honestly think at this point I have hundreds of videos. I'm not quite sure about that number, but I encourage you to check out my femininity playlist if you're interested in more of this dialogue. So let's jump right into the first point that I've noticed highly feminine women don't do, is they don't skip out on an opportunity to have fun. Now there's a big difference between like being a party girl and having fun. And what I've noticed is that even in the worst and dire circumstances, feminine women have this ability to draw optimism. They have this ability to once again look at like dire circumstances or struggles in life and still be able to enjoy the day to day. Once I started looking at my life, the obstacles and the changes like a journey, like an adventure and a trip, I was totally able to bring that optimism into my daily life. Once I did more of a social media detox as well, I was able to take small opportunities in my day to day to extract the fun out, like making silly faces and taking pictures of my husband, dancing around the kitchen with my kids. Those small things that I incorporated in my life, drawing inspiration from the highly feminine women that I have observed that are perpetual fun optimists. The second thing that I want to talk about is that highly developed feminine women don't compromise on their cleanliness standards. They have routines for how they upkeep their space, their beauty regimen, their health regimen. They are highly disciplined in this area. I mentioned in my previous vlog, one of the things that I've started to do is create different checklists just on my phone. I'm a busy mom, on notes of things that I want to accomplish for my beauty goals and my health goals every single month, every single week. And I've even put a daily checklist of things that I will naturally remember, but just for the sake of organization, I put them all on that, and I feel accomplished when I check those things off. Also, don't underestimate what many homemakers share on the internet, which is putting your kitchen to bed, having those routines and systems in your home. I've also discussed that this is going to vary based on your season. I used to use different cleaning systems. You have to find what works for you, but feminine women don't compromise on this. Even if they are sick or feeling a little bit under the weather, they will try their hardest to stick to that routine because it's just a part of who they are. And how does that link to femininity? Well, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. You are nurturing your space. You are beautifying your surroundings, which I definitely believe has an impact on your mood and your ability to focus on those more like higher level skills of femininity when you have the basics such as cleaning your space taken care of. And so even down to the basics of like showering, I understand as a mom it's so difficult sometimes when you're in the newborn trenches to take a shower, but trying to structure, your entire morning around having a shower, because having a shower is a fundamental need that will allow you to be a better mom and bring out that playful spirit. Back again to point number one. Highly feminine women will find a way to get this done. And I don't want anybody to feel bad about about what I just said. If you're a mom, I understand. I have 2 kids. I've had them back to back. I've gone through hard things with them. One of my kids had colic. But I encourage you to keep an open mind on how you can get these things done in your life while you have kids. In my personal opinion, it's okay sometimes to use TV, to use bouncers. Everybody's going to have their own comfort level. But again, highly feminine women will find a way to get this done. And this is just to serve as motivation for you to find the way that works. Next up, for all you single ladies out there, feminine women aren't like man desperate. They are not desperate to hold on to a man that potentially could be like borderline abusive or who like doesn't chase you. Feminine women understand that they want to be chased. And I will make more videos on this because so many women have been requesting like relationship videos. And although I definitely do not consider myself an expert, I can tell you that I have noticed that highly feminine women do not chase men. And I know a lot of you who watch these videos, you so desperately want to become a traditional wife and a mom, so finding a husband is so important. But you have to keep in mind that when you exude that type of desperate spirit, you're opening yourself up more so to predatory men who are going to take advantage of your desperate want to become a mother or to get married, and that is going to be negative down the road. I highly encourage you to, put the intention out there. Pray if you are a Christian about your future husband, him coming into your life, but then set that intention aside and develop your skills, your hobbies in other ways. Move forward with your life while you're in that season of waiting, because it's better to be alone than to be with a predatory man. Highly feminine women also don't treat people differently. What I mean is more so of a classist type of mentality. Feminine women don't treat the server different than the dishwasher, different than the manager. They have a way of making everyone feel special. And this is going to come back to being humble, understanding that everything that we have been given truly is a gift. Of course, through different philosophical beliefs, but understanding that life can change at any moment and to treat everyone with dignity and respect. And how does that tie back into femininity? That ties back into femininity by nurturing your caring spirit in reciprocation to having that philosophy, to going through life feeling proud and having empathy for others around you. So I definitely encourage you to exercise that skill in little ways that you can. I have done that through small interactions, like I mentioned, with service people, pushing myself to be a better friend, keeping in contact with people, really trying to listen to people, not like what I want to say next. All of these things have helped me become more feminine in that respect. Something else that I've noticed highly feminine women do is that they don't flip-flop their style too much. I think that trends are very positive if you're able to look at them for like what suits your body type. For example, flare pants right now are back in style from when they were in style like 10 years ago, and that suits my body type, so I've incorporated that in my wardrobe. But what I've noticed, and I've had this conversation with some friends, is that the younger generation, and I'm not trying to like put down you guys, younger Gen Zs, but in the landscape of continuous trend changes, do tend to latch onto those things more easily, giving them a type of androgynous style. It's not bad to embrace the baggy t-shirt trend if you have a body shape where in a lifestyle that would suit. However, adopting the entire like sweatsuit baggy trend entirely when it doesn't serve you at all, and flip-flopping on your style when like crop tops are in style the next month, not something highly developed feminine women do. And for the 100th time, I'm going to talk about minimalism. I'm not a minimalist, okay? But like the fact that everything that comes into my wardrobe is something that I really thought out is my way of doing this. So that I have multiple checks of like, is it Is it the right color for me? Will it balance with different shirts? Does it complement my body shape? All of these things I'm able to think through because I don't have like hundreds of pieces to analyze. And how does this play into femininity? Well, when you have an authentic wardrobe that is true to you, you're able to wear it more so with confidence. Again, it goes back to a video I made a couple weeks ago where I talked about the teacher that I had growing up that dressed like she was kind of from like the 1980s. And I'm not advocating that you adopt a style from the past, but the thing about her that was highly feminine was that she had the confidence in a wardrobe that she adored, despite the fact that it was like outdated. So just because something is trendy doesn't mean that you're going to look good in it. And so it seems like common sense, but I just have to reiterate it again. Just because something is trendy doesn't mean that it's going to make you look good. And I know that that seems like pretty straightforward and obvious, but this is just to serve as your reminder. Highly feminine women also don't have erratic temper tantrums or like angry outbursts. Think Karens or like that perhaps mother figure that you see, like the angry mom. And I understand that a lot of people have problems with this in the sense that like women shouldn't have to repress their emotions. They are just suppressed by doing that. But instead, I encourage you to look at it more so in the fact that a calm person who has control over their emotions and can appropriately respond once they've thought through things in a strategic way is actually much more effective than somebody who has angry outbursts. This isn't just a woman thing, but mainstream society does tend to focus on that being like a problem for women. Although anybody in general, think about the last time that somebody had an angry outburst that you actually took them seriously. In order to be strategic at life, to like win in your relationships, in the workplace, if you have a job, in your friendships, in your family dynamics, of course not like getting what you want from a vindictive standpoint, but you know, getting what you want essentially is not going to be done by an uncontrollable temper. I used to have anxiety issues several years ago, so I went to therapy and I have checks and balances in my mind that help me stay calm in conflict or like when my kids have outbursts. So unfortunately, I'm not necessarily the right person to tell you what your checks and balances should be, but breathing techniques definitely do help. Stepping away, telling people that you need a moment, just coming to terms with what I said, that you're not really going to get your way by throwing a fit, understanding that is going to serve you in all facets of your life and is something that a highly feminine woman does. Lastly, feminine women protect their money and their time. I love the underconsumption trend that is going on TikTok right now, which is just like a rebranding of what we've seen over the past couple of years, encouraging people to consume less because we don't really realize it, but all of the advertisements and like influencers encouraging us to buy stuff, it does have a big effect on us more than we even know. And that's why I am always so hesitant to share products with you, because keeping your money for like more important purchases or for your children is much more valuable than like trying out some one-hit wonder new beauty product. Using that money to buy better food or to buy yourself more time by working less is actually going to make you more beautiful in the long term, which is at least what I have found and is my philosophy. In addition, protecting your time, detoxing from overconsumption of social media or like reframing to better social media, long form content such as YouTube, staying more so off of Instagram. Instagram is a little bit dead in my personal opinion nowadays, but I still love connecting with all of you, which is why I keep it. But I much prefer YouTube, Pinterest, Reddit if you're on the proper forums, not the ones that like complain about people. Audiobooks, these things are so much better use of your time. And also, even though many of us are like stay-at-home moms or girls who want to live a more soft life and work less, motivational self-help books can still help you by like extracting that motivation that focuses on not wasting time, and you can apply that to your life to spend more time with your kids, to spend time in nature, to work on an actual useful hobby. I am not perfect in this respect. I've talked about one of my goals, for example, was to sew more aprons this year, and I have not tackled that hobby yet at all. So again, I'm learning with all of you, but I feel as though I have really improved from the beginning of the year. And that has also come with being honest with myself on where I have been wasting time. Highly feminine woman is going to want to extract all of the value that she can in the time that she spends with her loved ones, for example, being fully present on a date. I've really cut down in terms of like what I share on my stories, in terms of like experiences with my family, because I've learned through my mother's death that sometimes sharing, of course, is fun, but being able to put your phone down and really cherish the time that you have with somebody is so much more valuable and life-giving and uplifting in the long term for my personal femininity. So I do want to end the video there. There's so much more that I can say, but we can continue to have a chat about it in the comments. I apologize for sounds that you might have heard in the background from my kids, but this is just life as a mom. I appreciate so much that you are tuning into my YouTube channel that is still happening several years later. I can't express enough authentically. Thank you so much for being here. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.